Hi all. Today we are going to discuss a topic called recursion. Recursion uses a concept called decomposition. That means a bigger problem is reduced to a smaller size problem and still further reduced to a next small level of a smaller size problem, and still it is reduced to next level of smaller problem, and finally it reaches an atomic size wherein it returns a solution for that small problem. So it returns a solution to its immediate parent, and this parent will again compute something and return to its immediate parent, and this will again in turn return to its immediate parent, and then this will return again to its immediate parent, and finally the solution will be achieved for the problem given. So the definition of recursion is nothing but a recursive function is a function which calls itself, and the recursive procedure call must use a different argument than that of the original one. So the size of the parameters will be reduced and then passed on to the next recursive call. The classic example for recursion is computing factorial. So a non-recursive procedure for computing a factorial is n factorial, can be written as 1 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 3 multiplied by so on n minus 1 multiplied by n. This gives the factorial of n. So factorial of n is the product of first n positive integers, and in terms of recursion you can derive a recursive formula like factorial of n is equal to 1 if n is equal to 1. In all other cases it is n into factorial of n minus 1. So you are just replicating the same original problem in terms of a lesser size. So here it is n, here it is n minus 1. Here we are reducing the problem size by 1. So the content of a recursive method consists of two things. One is the base case and the other one is the recursive calls. You can have one or more base cases, and base case is used to stop the recursive calls and arrive at a solution. Okay, and every possible chain of recursive calls must eventually reach a base case. So calls to the current method is nothing but the recursive calls. Each recursive call should be defined so that it makes progress towards a base case. So a recursive method, this is a recursive function for factorial. So factorial, and it is taking one input parameter n. So if n is equal to 1, then it returns a solution that is 1. Okay, and this is called, because it is returning a solution, you are coming out of this function. Okay, so this is called as base case. So base case always helps us to come out of the function, else it goes into a loop, that is the recursive function call. Once again you are calling the same function just by changing the input parameter, and n in place of n you are just passing n minus 1. So you're reducing the size of the problem and changing the input parameter and calling the same function once again. So this loop continues until it meets the base case. Whenever it meets the base case, it returns a solution to its immediate parent. So this is the problem of decomposition, splitting a problem into smaller problems. Okay, the size n problem can be decomposed into size n minus 1 problem and a size 1 problem. And further, size n minus 1 can be decomposed into size n minus 2 problem and another size 1 problem. And so on, it can be decomposed as a size 2 problem and a size 1 problem. And the size 2 problem can be decomposed into two size 1 problems. So the problem is simplified, and then you can easily obtain solution for it. So you can recursively split the problem into a problem of size 1 and another problem of size n minus 1. So now you can compute the factorial for 3, and this is the recurrence relation. So this is the base case. Factorial of 0 is equal to 1 and factorial of n is equal to n into factorial of n minus 1. So factorial of 3, n value is 3 here, so it can be computed as n into factorial of, because it is not equal to factorial of 0. So it can be computed as 3 into factorial of 3 minus 1, that is 2. And then factorial 2 is further evaluated as 2 into factorial of 1. And factorial 1 is further evaluated as 1 into factorial 0. Now factorial 0 is matching with the base case here. Factorial of 0 is equal to 1, and hence you have a value for this factorial of 0, that is 1 will be returned by this function factorial 0. So 1 along with another 1 in this particular parent function, so it returns a 1 again, and then it again computes with the value in its parent function 2, and 2 into 1 will be 2 again, yielding 3 into 2. So 2 will be returned to its immediate parent function. Here the value of n is 3. So 3 into 2 will be computed and the value of 6 will be returned. So this is the actual value for this question, for this problem factorial 3. So if I want to trace the recursion for factorial by passing the value of n as 4. Okay, so this is a function call by we are passing the parameter as 4. Now 4 can be evaluated as 4 into factorial of 3, because at this point in this function n value is 4. This is the current working environment in which the local variable n will have 4, and then you are again using a function call by passing the argument as 4 minus 1, that is 3. Now factorial 3 will be again evaluated, and it is not at all matching with the base case, and hence it evaluates to 3 into factorial 2. So 3 is the current working environment, and here the value of n is 3 and it is multiplied with factorial of 2. And then factorial 2 will be evaluated as 2 into factorial 1, because at this point of time the local variable n value is 2 and the factorial 1. Now factorial 1 will be further evaluated to factorial 0, and then at that time n value is 1. And now factorial 0 will be matching with the base case and it will be returning a value of 1. So this 1 will be replaced in its parent function, that is factorial 0 will be substituted with 1. So at this point of time in this local area n value is 1, 1 into 1 is 1, and it will be returned to its immediate parent, that is factorial of 1. So 1 is returned to factorial 1. At this point of time the current working environment n value is 2. So 2 is multiplied with 1 and 2 will be returned to factorial 2. And then factorial 2 value is 2 now, and 2 into at that time n value is 3. So 3 into 2, 6 will be computed and returned to factorial 3. So 6 into 4, 24 will be computed and it will be returned to factorial 4. So factorial 4 will return to its calling function the value 24, that is computed recursively like this. So this is the trace back of factorial function. And now you can use a stack for storing all the return address and local working environment, current working environment of the function. And stack is having a very wonderful property, that is the last in first out property. So first the space required for factorial 4, that is the return address and all the n values will be stored here, local values will be stored along with flag values, and then 4 will initiate a call to factorial 3 and 3 will initiate a call to factorial 2 in turn. So factorial 2, when the call is initiated, all the working environment of factorial 3 will be stored here along with the return address, and then it jumps to factorial 2. So factorial 2 in turn initiates a call to factorial 1. So it has to store its return address again on the top of the stack along with its local current working environment. and then once again it initiates a call to factorial 0, and hence factorial 1 has to store its current working environment along with return address on the top of the stack. And then 0 will return a value, so whatever values you store here, the return address will be popped out, and safely it returns to that return address by returning the value 1. And the order will be the last in first out, right? So the available parent address is on the top of the stack, and you can easily pop out and make use of it. So this is the advantage of stack, the last in first out structure. And again it returns to function factorial 1, and so it will be popped out because it has to return a value to factorial 2, so it will popped out and it gets the return address and returns a value to factorial 2. Now factorial 2 will be popped out because it has to return a value to its parent, that is factorial 3, and then factorial 3 will compute some value, and then it returns its value to its parent, that is factorial 4. It will be popped out. Now factorial 4 is left on the top of the stack, and it has to return a value to its calling function, and hence the final value will be returned to its parent function. So factorial 4 memory storage will also be popped out. So this is the stack usage for the recursive calls, that is for storing all the current working environment of the functions in between. So thank you.